This is a video to show you how to fill out the plot map for your memoir. You should do this before you start writing to help you organize your thoughts and make better use out of your writing time. So, first of all, this plot map represents the steps in your story from the beginning to through the steps that get you to your climactic moment and then through the falling action. For your memoir, it is very important that your resolution contains reflection. We will talk about that in just a minute. And down here are a couple of different ideas on how to start your memoir. The climax should be the most important, most significant part of the story. This should be really the point. What is the moment and how did it change you? What is the big revelation in your memoir? So I recommend that you start planning your story by knowing what that climactic moment is, and that's going to help you plan the steps to get you there. I'm going to show you how this works by using the example that you should have read on the assignment sheet that was written by me called Crying for No Reason. So, in that story, the climactic moment is when Holly tells me that girls just do this sometimes. That's the big revelation, the lesson that I learned from that situation. So, after I've decided my climax, then I need to think about how I want to get there. And there are a couple of different ways to start your memoir. I decided to start mine, and that's really what this exposition means. That means the beginning. I decided to start mine in the present day with an event that I experienced where one of my Sunday schoolers started crying, and it reminded me of something that happened to me when I was her age. So I start with that event in the present, and then I flash back to the event when I was 10 years old that happened to me. This is a pretty short memoir, so it doesn't need to fill in all these spaces. Don't feel like you have to fill in every step. The next part of my memoir just kind of describes my feelings and my confusion going through this crying for no reason event. And that leads Holly to tell me that it's okay and girls just do this sometimes. In the falling action, as I get to the end of my story, I return to the present day and make a connection to the event that started my story. And then I have time for resolution, which again, this is your reflection. And reflection can occur throughout your memoir. Really, you are reflecting throughout your presentation of the moment you choose. But typically, a memoir will end with the most significant reflection. And you can see that in the Amy Tan story on the other side of the assignment page as well. In my reflection, I think about how the present event connects to the flashback and how girls just do that sometimes. And I really drive home what I learned and what I realized looking back at that moment. And so this is kind of the extent of what I expect your plot map to look like. You can see these aren't fully developed sentences or they're not incredibly detailed. They just give me the bones of the story that would then help me start writing it. So, again, start with your climax so you know where your story is headed. Decide how to start your memoir because beginnings are important and you have several different options. You might even try more than one before you're happy with the way it begins. And then construct the main key events you want to make sure you hit in your story to help you stay organized as you start writing. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.